Welcome to class, students. Today we'll be looking at a very important topic titled Supply Chain Sustainability and Transparency. Sustainability and transparency represent the comprehensive understanding and disclosure of social and environmental impact throughout a product life cycle from raw material sourcing to final delivery. So it involves understanding and disclosure of the impact of social and environmental effects or strategy throughout the product life cycle from the production to the final delivery. Also refers to from the raw material sourcing to the final delivery. This holistic approach enables both businesses and consumers to gain visibility into production methods, labor conditions, distribution pathways, and environmental consequences. So we have core concepts. The core concept of sustainability practice or supply chain sustainability and transparency is number one, we have the supply chain sustainability and the supply chain transparency. The supply chain sustainability encompasses the environmental, social, and economic footprint of companies' entire supplier network operations. I'll take that again. Supply chain sustainability encompasses the environmental, social, and economic footprint of a company's entire supply network operations, while supply chain transparency involves deliberately sharing information about origins, production processing, and impact, ensuring all stakeholders have visibility into complete supply journey. So transparency ensures visibility to for both stakeholders or those involved in production to have a complete supply chain, complete supply journey. Chain sustainability and transparency matters. Number one, for ethical sourcing foundation, proactive risk management, stakeholder trust development, regulatory alignment, and operational excellence. It ensures a fair labor practice, environmental stewardship, and responsible resource utilization. So this supply chain sustainability and practice ensures through ethical sourcing foundation ensures fair labor practice, environmental stewardship, and responsible resource utilization. The second is proactive risk management. Identifies potential disruptions, ethical violations, and environmental vulnerability before they escalate. Another important is stakeholder trust development. It strengthens relationship with consumers, investors, and partners through authentic disclosures. Another is regulatory alignment. It facilitates compliance with evolving sustainability and human rights standards. Then the next is operational excellence. It enables superior collaboration across the supply network during efficiency and cost optimization of supply chain and supply chain transparency and sustainability. While cost efficiency, sustainable practice often reduce operational expenses and resource consumption. Another is supply resilience, deeper supplier relationships, and sustainability focus enhance continuity. Another is reputation enhancement. Commitment to transparency strengthens corporate standing and attracts investment. Another is consumer preferences. Growing consumer segments prioritizes brands demonstrating authentic sustainability commitment. to implement supply chain sustainability and transparency. We have traceability system, suppliers partnership, continuous assessment, and digital enablement. I'll take that again. How do we implement supply chain sustainability and transparency? Well, through traceability systems, through supplier partnership, through continuous assessment and digital enablement. The first one is traceability system. Traceability system deploy technologies to monitor material and product journeys, while supplier partnership engage supplier as collaborative partners in information sharing and sustainability adoption. Stakeholder communication maintain transparent dialogue about sustainability initiative and supplier practice. So continuous assessment involve implementing ongoing monitoring of supply chain sustainability plan. You must always assess continuous monitoring, its continuous practice, continuous assessment of the ongoing supply chain sustainability or production. Another is digital enablement. It leverages emerging technologies like blockchain and RFID for enhanced visibility. Clear calendars. The supplier code of conduct establishes a comprehensive standard governing ethical and business practice required for supply relationship. Global enterprises utilize these codes to ensure consistent standard across the workplace practice. Number one, workplace practice requirement for safe working environment, fair labour condition, appropriate wages and reasonable working hours. So the code of conduct, number one, for sustainability and transparency is workplace practice. In workplace practice, the requirement is for a safe working environment for all the labourers, those involved in production, fair labour condition, then appropriate wages and reasonable working hours. It is requested that and require that the labourers are not overworked, not to be too strained or not to fall sick. So that's why there have to be a reasonable working hours for the labourers. Another is human rights protection. Standard prohibiting discrimination while supporting freedom of association and fundamental rights. Standardized prohibiting discrimination while supporting freedom of association and fundamental rights. Another is environmental responsibility. Expectation for minimizing ecological impact through emission reduction, resource conservation and waste management. Another is ethical business conduct. Good guideline for anti-corruption measures, fair competition practice and regulatory compliance. Effective implementation requires regular supply audit, certification, verification and clear consequences of non-compliance, including po relationship termination when standards are not met. Supplier code of conduct. The supplier code of conduct is equitable treatment, ensures that everyone is treated equally. Then human rights, there must be workplace and health safety for the workers and due diligence requirements. Commit to treating all employers with dignity and respect. Equal development and advancement opportunities must be available to all staff. Discrimination based on race, religion, nationality, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, political belief, disability age, marital status, pregnancy, parental status, or union affiliation is prohibited. Another is human rights. The supplier must implement measures to prevent child labour within its operation, subsidiaries and supplier chain. Employment must be based on freely agreed terms with key employment conditions clearly communicated to and understood by employees. What supplier must comply with applicable wages law and regulation, ensuring fair compensation and benefit. Employers are entitled to equal pay of equivalent work. This the supplier must also pay its minimum, the higher of either legally mandated minimum wages or mandatory standard wages, while ensuring compensation covers reasonable living costs. The supplier must adhere to applicable working hours regulation or higher industry standard. Employee right to union to unionize and engage in collective bargaining must be respected. Open discussion of workplace issues without fear of retaliation should be encouraged, ideally supported by effective grievance mechanisms. Health and safety. The supplier must provide safe and healthy working environments and prevent harm to personal, materials and environment. Psychological, physical, social and verbal abuse, intimidation and harassment are not tolerated. The supplier is expected to comply with all relevant health and safety regulations and collaborate with employees to enhance safety culture and performance. Due diligence requirement. The supplier is expected to appropriate actions to respect and promote human rights, including conducting due diligence to identify, assess and mitigate advance human rights in parts within its operation. The supplier should extend this expectation to its subsidiaries and suppliers.